And welcome back aboard Blur Force One with your boy Mo and your girl Polly. And this is the Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games, comic books. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, you know what to do. Get down there and hit like on this video. Superhero summer is heating up. We're can you believe it? We're almost like we're a couple weeks away from brand new day coming out. X-Men 97 is running. My Adventure with Superman is going. There's a ton of news going on. Man of Tomorrow is filming. And all of this while we're having like hella heat waves across the world. It's crazy. It's a crazy time. So get into the theater so you can cool off. Or if you don't have air conditioning at home, like we do in the United States, you can go to the movie theater and you can go watch some dope movies to keep yourself cooled off. But all that being said, we gotta, of course, say what's up to our resident Reed Richards truther, comic book aficionado, all around cool blurred. And that, of course, is our girl Polly. Polly, what's going on? How you doing? How you enjoying superhero summer?
Well, I'm enjoying it. It's fine. It's good. It's summer for sure. Superheroes are there. It's not bad. But no, I'm really enjoying the X-Men 97. It's just a joy to watch it every week and to talk to people about it every week because like it's twice as much fun when you get to discuss everything. And aside from that, I'm reading some comics, not a lot, so I'm not going to be talking about them today. But you know what? My anti-Reed Richards activities are picking up because obviously, after reading more about Blue Marvel, and he's like, what if Reed was actually cool and actually smart and actually not an asshole? And that's what you get with Blue Marvel. So yeah, really enjoying that. Posting about it a lot. I need people to know that like Blue Marvel is much, much better than Reed Richards. So we can actually finally let go of Reed Richards. We can throw him into the negative zone and and enjoy life without him. Yeah, it's actually possible. We're not gonna lose anything. We're not gonna miss out on anything. Other than that, what I watched some like I think I talked about like I watched Jordan Peele movies. Watched the last one, which is Nope. Wasn't as good in my opinion as Us and Get Out, which those were amazing. Us was the scariest shit I've ever seen. Still terrified to open the balcony or the window at night because I know that somebody's gonna be standing in my driveway looking with creepy faces. I want that mess. What else? I'm watching Xena, of course. There's a lot going on there. This show is so silly. It does this, very, very 90s slash early 2000s tropes when they remake famous things. There's like an episode where they go where they're in the future for them, but like in the past, in the 30s, where they do a Christmas episode, which is like they making the best out of it. They do like a Christmas Carol thing. This is just fantastic. There's so much going on. It's so ridiculous, but it's really good. It's really quality show. And what else? Just being nerdy, just enjoying life.
Still playing more.
That's what I've been up to. Yeah, I'm just, I'm not happy about it. Still playing. I'm not giving them any more money.
Were you actually blocked?
I was not. It was a glitch. I was ready to be mad. I was ready to be mad really, really hard. I'm still mad because this behavior is still ridiculous. And every time, like, I see people post this leaked bits about the future characters, and one character, Crescent, keeps appearing in those leaks, and it's actually a child. an Asian child with like some kind of powers. To I don't know, something similar to Vixen from DC, but like not exactly. I don't know too much about that character. But the character appeared in the I think Future Fights game, like alongside Luna Snow. So if there is a way for them, if they're gonna actually bring that character to the game, if they're gonna age them up, or like find a way to stick them into this game, I'm gonna be really pissed because that is what they refused to do for Lunella.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
my beef is not over.
I think it's gonna happen, and but I'm like I'm not invested in this, but I like it's they're making me be less invested. So it's weird.
They're
Like,
making me
well,
angry.
Moon Girl is like that's one of my favorite characters. I love Moon Girl, and if they're disrespecting her like that, like fuck them. That's more reason not to play. Uh, well, as for me, look, I keep telling y'all, like I work a lot and also I have a garden, so I'm not doing as much. But I did do some things. Me and my daughter are continuing to watch Bel Air slowly. I think we're probably going to finish the first season tomorrow night, or yeah, tomorrow night or Sunday. Which is great. The first season is really great. I keep saying that. You guys need to watch it. It's really good. Um, also watched Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid. My daughter just was just like, we should watch Karate Kid. I was like, I'll never say no to that. I've seen it a million times. I'll see it a million and one. It's still a great movie. I think it holds up. And also, if you were someone who really liked Stranger Things season 3, where they were in the mall, that's a movie you should watch because it's gonna give you all of those like '80s vibes, for sure. Also, we got to see what's her name from the boy. She was in the boys, as Homelander's handler in the first season slash milk
Mm.
provider, Elizabeth Shue, young Elizabeth Shue in there. I really love that movie. I think it holds up, despite some rather problematic things that are endemic of '80s movies. But I think like what do you call the magical Negro trope? There's the magical Asian trope is unfortunately like
Mm.
heavily leaned into. But I think that it's a good fish out of water, like sort of story that it holds up. It's good. I think if Gen Z and Gen Alpha can get into it, I think we can revisit it. Also played a bit of Baldur's Gate 1, trying to get into that. That's a deep and complex game. So it requires a little more time than I have right now, but I'm trying to get into it a little bit. And also played a bit of Invincible Versus. Again, another complicated game that I need more time for. Um, I also saw, this is just because we're not gonna really talk about this, but did you see Destin Daniel Cretton, aka the Shang-Chi and Spider-Man Brand New Day director? His next thing is not a Marvel thing, which by the way, that's fine. I don't think they should be stuck at Marvel doing Marvel's bidding. But he's going to be doing the Naruto movie, live action movie. Not a
That's a very uh questionable thing to do. It is like so far not the best track record with these things. Fans are gonna be pissed regardless of what you're gonna do. I don't know why anyone would willingly like do something for the people who react like this to everything. I mean,
but
the fact that
look,
like nerds even get shit done is it's bizarre to me. I wouldn't do anything for people who treat me like that.
I'm sure the paycheck is going to be fat. Also, he probably does actually love the material. Naruto, because you got to think Naruto is like 20 something years old now. Like it came out in the manga came out in 99. So you're talking about, it's going on like 28 years old. The anime is about 25ish, 20, 24, 26 years old. It's hugely popular. I cannot imagine that Destin Daniel Cretton did not enjoyed and spent some time with it as a younger person. So I'm interested. We know Shang-Chi had
But
the
like,
martial arts on
even
point.
as a
So
fan, though, even as a fan, you can't always get it right, and it's actually even more dangerous in
mm,
some cases when fans take over things that they love.
yeah, well, I think that it does have a higher bar to clear than Shang-Chi did, mainly because of how many people have seen it. And because it's a very sprawling story with lots of characters and like there but it also at its heart is kind of a simple story, like most, shonen anime are. So probably it can translate. It's just a question of how much money they're gonna throw at it and who's writing it and I think given what we saw in Shang-Chi and what looks like we're going to see in Brand New Day, I think he's probably going to acquit himself very well um, in the directing aspect of it. So I'm interested. I'm keeping my hopes up for it. Um, Also saw that the movie Michael, which you loved, I loved. It became the first $1 billion biopic,
Yeah,
which is dope, and I think it's gonna. I think it actually
very fair.
it's out on physical media now. It's out on digital. It's I think though the first time you watch it, go to the theater. just just do yourself a favor. Go see it in a theater and then watch it at home. Just trust me. It's worth it just to have that great sound to watch. um, so that was going on. Also going tonight to go see the Odyssey, to see what all the fuss is about. I'm Christopher Nolan, generally speaking, doesn't miss. So I'm pretty excited to see what's going on with it and to see Helen of Troy, because I don't usually do things because of the chuds, but I want to support this movie because the chuds are being stupid about obviously one of the most beautiful women in the world being Helen of Troy. But hey, she's black, so they're mad. So
I
we're
mean,
gonna.
to be fair, the most beautiful woman in the world is a very questionable statement from the people who were never able to like travel around the whole world. So I don't know if they can judge. It's like I had an episode. There was an episode of Xena, and there was like a Miss the contest for the most beautiful woman of the known world, and they
Right,
specifically kept repeating the known world because like
right.
they don't know everything. But well, just so before watching Odyssey, you avoiding spoilers.
I understand that Odysseus does eventually get to. He does eventually get home. And
Yeah.
also I had to read the Odyssey when I was in high school, so I don't remember everything, but I have some passing understanding of what happened. But
I mean,
avoiding
I
the
don't know if
spoilers
you.
on avoiding spoilers on a 2,000 plus year old story. How do you do?
I don't know. I got it spoiled like in elementary school or like preschool even, I think, because there were like children's version of this myth, and
Yeah,
obviously this was one of the most popular ones, and we all read it, and then we like in school, yeah, read the Odyssey and Iliad.
yeah,
Mm,
and
So
also
yeah,
they've made movie
I've
versions
just
of
seen
it before.
people complain
Yeah,
like about like you know.
stupid ass shit like that. Like there's
Yeah.
movie versions of various aspects of the whole Trojan War. Also, there's a movie called Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is literally just a southern white
Interpretation.
white version of the Odyssey,
You
with
know,
George Clooney as the lead. So I mean, this story exists. I'm just
from there were like so many bizarre takes because I remember like that was a whole thing about people who didn't know that Ulysses was actually,
yeah.
how to say, uh,
It's it's like
like
it's people being silly about this
so
movie.
weird. Yeah, I
It's
want to
like
watch it. I want to watch it. I'm just not gonna watch it in the theater
there
probably. 'Cause, like,
there are people complaining about various aspects of it. Some of it isn't even because of the racism. A lot of it is the racism. and
But it's because they stupid.
and the homophobia, queer phobia, all that, talking about Elliot
Which is
Page, talking,
funny when you talk about anything that's happening in
yeah,
Greece, ancient Greece.
yeah, it's, there's all of that, and then people are complaining that they're not gonna be speaking with British accents, and they're not gonna have period authentic dialogue, which, what the fuck does that even mean? Because
Why are they?
I
Why should they be talking with British accent then?
yeah, exactly. It's like there's
Is
a
Greece in Britain now?
no, no, it's not. So there's like a lot of silliness to it, but it's Christopher Nolan. He knows how to write and direct a good movie. So I don't fucking know. Like even Tenet might be considered his least good movie, and it's still a good movie. So like,
I liked it.
so like, I'm just saying, I expect to spend a good 3+ hours in the theater and be entertained. So, but I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know next week how I felt about it. Final thing I want to talk about. I know this is a long intro segment into the show. I was part of the whole Threads kerfuffle, getting my my account banned for some fucking reason, and I thought it was just me. I thought I was being singled out because of my political
Yeah.
views, but apparently a bunch of people, and maybe even Marvel Rivals was part of this. Uh,
I mean, if anyone, they deserved it.
it was crazy. There was I spent a good hour and a half. I created a new account. It still exists if y'all want to join my backup account on Threads. But it was wild. Like I was like, the shit happened to people, and there was no reason. No, I suspect AI moderation was probably at play here. But like, we were like disabled, suspended, and then automatically had our we you know our challenging of the suspension was automatically done on our behalf. Then we were perma banned. It was just a bunch of weird shit. And then I guess real humans stepped in. So like, I'm not saying AI is trash. Well, yeah, I am. AI is fucking stupid. Um, it's, the promise of AI being smarter or more, fair or any of that stuff. It's not true. It's not better. It's dumb. It's probably being given ideological. You can see it like on X with Grok being constantly fiddled with to fit Elon Musk's idiotic ideas about what way things should be, and they still can't keep it in line. And this shit is happening on Meta platforms. Unfortunately, I love Threads, so I'm gonna stick around. But my God, if this shit happens again, and like, I might just abandon the platform. I don't know. We'll see. So
Where
anyway,
you gonna go? To Blue Sky?
I'm not. I should have just abandoned. I should just go to Discord and stay on Discord. I don't know. It's there's not a lot of good choices, to be honest. We'll go. You know what? I'm gonna go back to LiveJournal. That's we're, we're gonna go to LJ.
No, we're gonna start a forum,
Yeah, we're
a
gonna
message board.
we're gonna go back to that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I actually love those things. That it was fun.
Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll just like be in YouTube comments. YouTube is trying to roll out stuff to like sort of compete with uh, you know, X and Threads. So maybe we'll do that. I'm sure that won't be terrible. Anyway, that being said, we have some news this week, and we of course are gonna talk about X-Men 97 and My Adventures with Superman, the newest episodes. They both drop episode 5. Those are going to be a good time to review. But first, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Hopefully, we can get through it in a reasonable amount of time. We'll see. We got a couple of actors who, notable actors, Sam Neill and Ching Ho, pass away this week. The Batman 2 has an update. Kevin Feige talks about Yelena and where we'll see her next. Yelena, of course, she is, of course, the new Black Widow. Uh, an update on the Nova, store, what is it, I guess,
Project.
project that's coming up in for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. An update on Blue Beetle and where we're going to see that character show up again. We get the casting for Gorilla Grodd in the Jimmy Olsen series, and the big Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery mergers running into some pretty major roadblocks, I think, and it could cost them pretty dearly. And then finally, we are going to. Oh yeah, we have one more bit of news, which was about Marvel Comics making a big move, big move, like that. No, I didn't see coming, definitely. And then we're gonna review My Adventure with Superman season 3, episode 5, and X-Men '97 season 2, episode 5. So lots of stuff. We y'all, we gotta jump into it right now because this we want to make this a reasonable size episode. So you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get into this. Let's start this off with a bit of somber news, but it's not super somber. But we saw this week the passing of Sam Neill and Wai Ching Ho. Sam Neill has been was in a bunch of stuff. Let's just say a lot of things. But I think Jurassic Park may be the most famous role for Sam Neill, but was in a lot of things, and was in the MCU. Was played Odin, or actually didn't played an actor playing Odin in Thor Ragnarok, and that makes sense to me because Sam Neill was from New Zealand, and Taika Waititi is also from New Zealand. So that was really cool to have seen him. And that Wai Ching Ho was known probably by most people, at least in America, as Madame Gao in the Daredevil, the first season of Daredevil on Netflix, which was a very cool little character. Actually, I wish we could have seen a bit more. There was an implied backstory about Madame Gao that we never quite got to see, and more interestingly, survived the fucking season. So that didn't necessarily happen for some of the other people that Wilson Fisk was in business with in that season. I'm just saying, live to tell the tale, if you will. She was very interesting. I think, like, let's talk a character whose presence and the way Wilson Fisk interacted with her said a lot, even though they didn't tell us a lot about who she was, besides that she was, leading the triads. Didn't tell us a ton about where she was from, what she did. We just know that Wilson Fisk highly respected her, her counsel, and did tread. Let's just say he would tread kind of lightly around her. That's a very interesting. Anyway, she was really good in that role. Sam Neill, I liked him a lot. I posted about his role in the Hunt for the Wilder People, which is very much a Kiwi movie. Like, it's a New Zealand ass movie, and I loved it. It's so good. Starring also Julian Dennison, who you will know as Fire Fist from Deadpool 2, and also he was most recently in the live action remake of what was it? How to Train Your Dragon. Anyway, I'm saying a lot. Both will be missed. I will really miss Sam Neill. He was great in a lot of things. So, what do you have to say about the passing of these people?
Well, obviously, I remember, yeah. I remember Madame Gao's character on Daredevil. It's pretty much the only thing I've seen her in, though. But was a really cool character, like you said. The implied backstory, very, very strong character, and very kind of like someone who would create a lot of problems for Matt Murdock. Not more than he himself would, but still a lot. And Sam Neill, I really only remember from the Jurassic Park movies, and I think that I think he appeared in the latest one, right?
Yeah, he was in
Yeah, it was like kind of
Jurassic World. He was in the last
kind of a
Jurassic World,
reunion.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll remember him by that.
He was also in what was it? It was a remake. What was the name of that? It was a sci-fi horror movie. Event Horizon. He was in the remake of that.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
seen that.
like a lot of stuff. Like Sam Neill is or was like a really great actor. I swear to God, I have this on
You're
do
getting
not.
a call.
It says do not dis. I put it on do not disturb, and yet I'm being disturbed. What? Let me see.
It's
What?
disturbing.
What is disturbing? What is disturbing this? How is do not disturb being disturbed? It better be like. Anyway,
Maybe it's like a special alert from like your president just died.
oh, don't tempt me with a good time. Anyway, no, Sam Neill, great actor. Sad to see him go, but I think he was 78, 76, 77, 70, something like that. I think he died, he had an illness that he passed away from it. And Wai Ching Ho was 82. So they had pretty long lives, pretty good, great careers. And we just celebrate them. I love the fact that when people were posting about Sam Neill, I think on my post about Hunt for the Wilder People, so people were discovering they didn't even know this movie existed, and were saying, "Hey, this is actually really great. Thanks for putting me on." I just love that that's what happened. Um, with my post and the many other people's posts, just seeing some of his work was really great. Also, apparently, was a really good dude. So good to see it. Um, and sad to see him pass, but glad we had him while he was here, and as well as watching. Oh, maybe we should look up and see what other things she was into. So anyway, we just wanted to make note of that and say farewell to them. So that being said, there's also uh, some news about the Batman Part 2. Here's a big fucking surprise. It's delayed to 2028. Who saw this coming? Who look, Polly, or are you surprised by this at all? Like
I don't know. I haven't actually been following it. I just remember that it was announced and then it disappeared, and I was like, okay. And then it was announced again, and now I guess it disappears again. Well, we'll see if something happens with it. We'll see. We'll find out about it.
this makes so much sense to me because it took Matt Reeves forever to get the script right. Remember, we were talking about this like last year. They finally, he's
Yeah.
like, I got a script done. Yeah,
Oh,
the first
right.
pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Well,
first.
maybe he needs a rewrite.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but like, and James Gunn was like, yeah, it's cool. This script is dope. But they haven't even started filming this. I think they were not going to start filming until the fall. So, given that most superhero movies need something like 18 months to turn around and to get into an actual theater, and that's if it doesn't have a ton of CG. If it has a lot of CG, you can usually add something like 4 or 5 months onto it. This probably won't have a ton of CG. It'll probably be fairly practical. But I'm not surprised by this. Because again, something like 18 months to turn it around. If they don't start filming until sometime in the fall, finishing filming maybe in November, maybe in December. So yeah, 2028 makes sense for post production. Not surprised by this. I'm not even mad about it. If I'm being honest, not even too mad about this. This is really very much a all right. I guess we'll get it when we get it sort of situation. At least it's not Blade. At least it will actually come out. They're not gonna just talk about it. So cool, good to know. Not surprised. um, Kevin Feige was talking. I forget. I don't even remember where this was. I think they had a town hall or something like that for Disney, for Marvel. And Kevin Feige was let us know that we're going to see Yelena, of course, again in Doomsday, which Yelena Belova, one of my favorite new characters for the MCU, played beautifully by Florence Pugh. But he also said we're going to be seeing her before Doomsday. Now, there's not much opportunity to see her before Doomsday because there's literally only two things coming out before Doomsday. Uh, One of them is what is it? Brand New Day, and the other is Vision Quest. those are the only two Marvel live action properties that are coming out prior to Doomsday this year. So, are we gonna see her in a couple weeks? What do you think? You think we're gonna see her in a couple weeks, or do you think this is
Yeah, I think it's
Vision
gonna be.
Quest?
I think it's gonna be Spider-Man, and it's probably gonna be the post-credit.
Which would be cool. I've kind of want because kind of wondered about Thunderbolts. I'm like, Spider-Man, what the fuck are you? You don't see you ain't got time to swing around uptown and see what's going on with the Thunderbolts. We this is the ongoing problem of the problem, and it's also opportunity, but a problem of being like New York City has a ton of superheroes. Where are they? Where?
Well, I recently I am still playing Spider-Man game, the Insomniac Spider-Man game, which I forgot to mention, by the way. I played a little bit of this that week, and when like there is a breakout in the raft and the God, the other one, like the high security prison for regular criminals in New York.
It's Stryker's Island.
Yeah, thank you. Rikers.
Yeah, well, it's Riker in the real world. Rikers Island is
it's Rikers Island in
but
Marvel,
it is Riker. They have Rikers Island, but Stryker's Island is the superpowered version. Is for where the super criminals.
No, the superpowers are in the raft.
Is that the raft? Why am I Stryker? I swear, I'm gonna look it up. You're gonna make me Google this.
Yeah, you got it. You're on. But anyway, like simultaneously, people are breaking out of both towns, and there is an Avengers Tower, and we know there's Doctor Strange is there, and we know that like the other superheroes are there. But Spider-Man somehow gets jumped by all of this like Sinister Six enemies at the same time. Nobody's helping him, not even like Black Cat.
Oh, by the way, Stryker's Island. I got my universes confused. That's DC. So.
Oh.
But either way, no, yeah, you're right. Like it's like one versus a bunch of people, and no one's ever like, you know what? I could jump in, right? I'm down the street.
And I understand when it's like not something massive, but like when a lot of people are breaking out of the prison at the same time, and people are in danger. Why is no one else stepping in?
No,
and same as this, like Spider-Man does not interfere with anybody else's business. I mean, for all we know, like you remember the Netflix shows. Like, everybody stays in their neighborhood. You cannot be Luke Cage and showing up in Hell's Kitchen. That's not your territory.
That's crazy.
You can, if you're Daredevil, please stop going to Harlem. Not your territory.
I could even
nobody wants to see you there.
I could understand if some stuff's happening and it's so low key that why would Luke Cage know about it? It would take a while for him. But this is literally on the news. Spider-Man would never, ever, ever just be like, you know what? They got it. He'd be like, oh, holy shit.
Superman would be like that, though.
Yeah, it's crazy because Pete would be like, oh, I got time. Like, this is crazy. Some crazy shit happening. I'll just swing uptown and see what's happening.
I wouldn't, not after the superhuman registration, Sokovia Accords. Not after that, because like if they catch you, if they unmask you, you're screwed. Well, and he's already done that.
I mean, I get the impression that Spider-Man's he's just swinging around, kicking ass and he doesn't care about people trying to catch him. And I don't think the NYC or NYPD or any of that are really trying to catch him either. So what's weird to me about all of this? It's not weird. I'm just like, it's just sometimes I watch stuff like Thunderbolts and I'm like, somebody should show up for this. Or remember in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you're like, yeah, nobody's Spider-Man? Okay. All right, whatever. I know it's comic book logic, but sometimes I do wonder. But you know what? Yelena and Brand New Day will be cool. I'm gonna go for the long shot and say she'll be in Vision Quest. I'm just saying. We'll see.
We'll see.
We're gonna have a short, quick update on the Nova project, which is being apparently spearheaded by Michael Waldron. I know everyone who loved Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, you're so happy with this. But apparently they're not going further and saying not just that he's working on it, but that it's not a TV series, but a movie. Okay, a Nova movie, which to me makes sense. I think it makes more sense than a TV show. One, because if you're going to spend the money, which is going to be significant. Remember how how much probably they spent on what was it? Ironheart. Ironheart. If you look at it, you can see the money because there's a lot of suiting up. Like they had to be like, let's break up that damn suit so she's not in the suit so damn much. We can't be having that too much. You can't be having her flying around in that shit all the time. She Hulk was notorious for having budget issues because Jim Walters had to be green a lot, right? So there's a problem I think with trying to make a TV show that's going to have a lot of CG because now you got to make it make sense,
Yeah,
budget
and it's
wise.
gonna be space likely, so
Yeah, so I think it would make sense that they say movie because then at least you can try to get your money back at the theater. I question it also because we're not in the MCU era when you can just introduce a new character in a movie and people are going to show up for it. That's unfortunately the way it is right now. So hopefully they got a smart idea about how to bring Nova into an existing franchise within the MCU to like at least
to
soft introduce them. I
to be
hope.
fair, we don't know what happens in Doomsday or Secret
Hmm.
Wars. We
Exactly, and
don't know
this
where
this
it's
is
gonna lead, and this is it's very
this
likely that they're thinking ahead,
yeah
which
this
is
is definitely
what they were
post.
supposed to do.
Exactly, this is definitely post probably
Secret Wars.
post not just Secret Wars, probably post
Doomsday.
X-Men. Probably it is probably most definitely post
Likely, yeah.
X-Men. X-Men is I think the first thing that's supposed to come out after Secret Wars.
Well, nobody actually confirmed it. Nobody, like, all we heard is rumors, and we
Yeah.
want to see it. Nobody ever confirmed that.
Yeah,
We're just going off of what we want to see.
we know X-Men is coming. We because they've attached the
Well, yeah, eventually.
director and writer and everything is attached to it. And Feige has talked about looking forward to X-Men being the thing that they focus on afterwards. But I think that Nova being post even X-Men makes a lot of sense. But they just have to soft introduce them. I think that we are at the point where a character like Nova, you and I are like, yeah, this is dope. But normies don't know who the fuck that is. They extra don't know. They don't know. They didn't know that most of the Thunderbolts, even though they've seen them
Honestly,
before.
I was surprised that he wasn't introduced. Like, if we're talking Richard Rider, where he
Hmm.
wasn't introduced somewhere alongside the Guardians of the Galaxy, where he belongs, or specifically after the destruction of Xandar, which
Right.
would have made sense because a lot of people expected him to be introduced then, and that would be the great time to do it.
Ooh,
But
actually,
I don't know.
hmm. You're making
What?
me think. You're making me think. That's
I'm sorry.
no. I mean, yes, I know. It's my brain's hurting, but I'm gonna power through it. No, you're making me think. That actually would be a genius starting point. Is what is it the post
Infinity
Infinity
War.
War, the post Infinity War moment where Richard Wright, because there's a window of opportunity for Richard Rider to become Nova Prime while all and to like
Well,
change
the
the
only remaining Nova.
yeah. But he would have to not be human. I think they could actually you know what, they actually could probably do something really cool. They could take Captain Marvel, the original one, not the Carol one, but the Marvel. They could take his story, which is of course he's kind of empowered to be like a champion for the Kree, but they could take the idea of like a Xandarian who looks suspiciously looks very human, uh, but he would be a Xandarian who basically then becomes kind of like the first person nearby, or or surviving member of the Nova Corps, the only surviving member of the Nova Corps, and he gets empowered with the entirety of the the Nova Corps, uh, the sentience and all that, and he embodies all of it and becomes like hella powerful. That's entirely possible, but I'm digressing. I think it's a dope idea that they could steal from the comics, where that happens with him, during the Annihilation Wave, and then he just kind of like goes and does his thing, and then gets blipped, and then he comes back, and now he's got to deal with a nihilist or something. There's a lot of space in there, literally, for Richard Rider to be dope. And they just have to, I think, a kind of a bit of a soft introduction in either Secret Wars or, you know, uh, not X-Men. Doomsday would be a good one too. A soft introduction would be good too. We'll see. But it looks like Waldron might even be the director. He's angling to direct. So, and again, any of y'all that thought that Quantum Mania killed his career at Marvel, nah, it didn't. And I think it's because at Marvel Studios, it's not one failure doesn't kill you, because he's had some successes, and he's worked on some like kind of high profile things for them. So they're giving him another shot. I'm interested to see what they're going to do, and we'll keep an eye on this and see if they confirm and what they're doing with this. Um, Speaking of a character that I think that maybe didn't get his due, but I loved it, and that is Blue Beetle, who unfortunately kind of got swept aside by the fact that the DCEU was going away, and this kind of came in at like the tail end of those movies. Out of those final movies, I think out of those final DCEU movies, it's probably the better one. It's the well, not probably, it is the best one. I think it channels all of the good things about that we love about a good teen superhero, or young person superhero origin story. And also it's very specific, it's very like Mexican American. Love that. And it had a lot of heart and fun to it. Unfortunately, it was associated with the DCEU, but uh James Gunn was like, I love this. You're you know what? You can come. You can jump in the van. we're going we're heading to we're heading to DCU. You can come in. Everybody else, you're no. Actually, you
It's
know
a
what?
Suicide Squad.
I feel like it's less that. It's more like the Titanic is sinking, and they're like, well, we have room for one more person. We got room for one more person in this boat that's gonna save you. Everybody else, y'all dead. Sorry, you got to drown in the North Atlantic with the rest of the DC. It's like, we'll take Harley Quinn. We'll take you. Not the rest of y'all. Bye. So that being said, Man of Tomorrow, he is confirmed to be in Man of Tomorrow. Variety and Hollywood Report, all of them are saying this. So the sprawling cast of Man of Tomorrow now includes Jola Mardueñas, Jaime Reyes. I love to hear it. Uh, I don't know how you felt about that movie, but I really liked it a lot. And I know somebody else. I think we probably both. I don't know if you follow I Don't Beat Games, but
Yeah, of course.
I Don't Beat Games. God bless you.
Yeah, I love that movie.
You
Hmm.
know what? I feel so
Really,
happy.
really, the first post I saw, it was that post,
Yeah,
and it just made me happy that somebody's like the thing that somebody wanted so badly came true.
exactly.
That's what made me happy, because I can't say that I love this movie to death. Like, it wasn't a wow movie for me. It was okay. I think I should rewatch it, because I wasn't paying too close attention when I saw it. But I remember that it wasn't cringe. It wasn't like weird. It wasn't like something you would never want to see again. It
Right.
was a little bit odd in terms of was a little bit dark, like all the DCU. I mean, in terms of color, filters or whatever. But it did. feel like there was a good story there. There was a good character, and I'm really glad that we're gonna have a chance to see the character again and to see like what maybe a better creative team can do with this story.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think they're going to retain the creative team because they're making an animated series for
I
this
mean, no, I mean the better maybe I should
studio.
have said like
Studio.
the better direction, like in
Yeah.
terms of overseeing the whole thing, because it really did. It was created in a dying universe, so
Yeah.
yeah.
What and what's interesting? I think what's interesting about Blue Beetle was, in some ways, it was kind of an odd duck when in terms of DCU and tonally doesn't quite it's not quite in line with the DCU in the same way that the Shazam series wasn't. Shazam was like it was like an oddly technicolor uh version of a story within a very kind of grim dark universe. And so it stood out like it never would have made sense to me. It was hard to me to see Shazam side by side with Henry Cavill Superman or Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. It's kind of the same way here. They're in that universe, but if you squint it, it looked like they're not in the universe, which why I think this can transfer so easily because there's no strong connection to the DCU. It just
Yeah.
it's so and also I thought it was a way more colorful and way more sci-fi, and it makes sense because the
Maybe, I mean, to me, well, it seemed a little less colorful than the other movies, but well, I compared it to Marvel probably,
yeah well yeah
and I wasn't comparing it to like the rest of the DCU movies. Maybe compared to them, it was bright,
yeah
and that's confusing.
and
'Cause-
I think even like the city they're in, like oh, there's so much more. It seemed more like it's in the DCU. Now that we've seen the DCU, it feels more like a DCU movie than it does a
Yeah.
DCEU movie, and so I'm glad to see that they're not playing around. They're leaning into it, and good for Shola Marduena for just like that's his character, so he's getting to like embody it and not just play the voice. Love to see it. Can't wait to see it, and I'm happy for I Don't Beat Games. The
Oh
biggest
yeah.
damn Blue Beetle like cheerleader on the internet, and got to see it come to fruition. So good for you, sir. Happy that you're happy. Um, Speaking of the DCU and like the Technicolor DCU, we know that there's a Jimmy Olsen show coming. Well, I love Jimmy Olsen and Superman. I really did. I thought Skylar Gisondo was so good, and they gave him lots of opportunity to shine. And now, of course, he's getting his own show. And they said weeks ago it's also a Gorilla Grodd show. And I'm just like, you guys are not playing around with this whole DC Technicolor DC thing. That is some Jimmy Olsen in a what is it, a true crime documentary show with Gorilla Grodd is the most DC shit possible. Like it's so DC, and I'm glad that they're not fucking shying away from it. We're at that point in comic book movies and TV shows. Now they've cast Gorilla Grodd, and that is Jimmy Tatro. I'm think I'm saying it right, Tatro. Either way, an actor I'm not super familiar with, but I have seen him in a couple things. He's I apparently started out as a YouTuber, but is an actor, has been in some things. He's kind of got he's got a cool little presence. He's funny. He's a bit, he seems a bit dude bro in like his presentation, but like as a creative, how dude bro can he really be? I don't have too much more to say that except dope. We got a Gorilla Grodd. And obviously he's gonna be in some kind of mocap or something like that for this. I'm just hoping he can bring, because Gorilla Grodd is like he's a bit more of a serious character. I know he's a gorilla, but like
Isn't he like a genius gorilla?
yeah, he's a genius,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
also he's hella dangerous. he's
But
like
you know
he's like
what?
super dangerous.
I actually that's one case where I know the actor who's playing the role, because usually you start talking about them and I don't know them. 'Cause this one I remember like from YouTube, obviously, because he had a channel and like posted some funny videos about like college life and stuff like that. And it was like a lot of dude bro humor. There was like him and his best friend
Mhm.
and like some other people. Mm, just funny videos. That's what I remember him from. Then I remember he was in some movies and like did stand-up comedy or
Mhm.
something. And he stopped doing videos. So then I kind of like lost track of what he was doing. And now I guess he's doing that. But well, that's probably the first time in my life when someone I watched on YouTube back in the day is like doing something. So just okay.
Yeah, it's cool to
I,
see.
I in terms of I'm not so sure that like this is someone who I would imagine play a genius gorilla, but like okay, why not? If the director sees it, why not?
I feel like this is going to be a more of a comedic series, so
Yeah,
maybe they're going to sort of lampshade the genius gorilla thing and play. Hopefully not too much for last, because Gorilla Grodd, I'm not kidding. He's enough of a problem that the Flash has a problem with him. Like and also I think at some point there's a city of gorilla, and I think they even reference it in Superman. There's like a gorilla city. Like it's so they know that there are sentient gorillas. They have a fucking city. It's a real thing. So like I hope they don't play it too much for laughs, because like Gorilla Grodd's he's not a joke. Like you might think he is, he's not a joke. He gives Flash the business all the time. So cool. Can't wait to see more of this. I'm looking forward to the development of this show as it goes forward over the next year. We'll keep an eye on it. All right. So last bit of news for the day. This came in last minute for our show today, and it's very surprising to me. Marvel Comics is based out of New York City. Has been since it was Atlas and Timely Comics way back in the 30s and 40s. Uh, it is almost synonymous with the city of New York, right? Spider-Man not swinging around NYC would be crazy. They literally in the comics, there's a point at which several times Marvel Comics actual offices are referenced or visited by actual superheroes. Marvel and New York City is they're intertwined, except not anymore, because now Marvel Comics, the publishing arm, the publisher, are moving offices to Los Angeles, which is basically getting them right next to their parent company. Disney is based out of Los Angeles, and Marvel Studios is based out of Los Angeles. Kevin Feige is the head of Marvel and Marvel Studios, and he is in charge of the comics. He most recently, we talked about this, appointed Brad Winderbaum, who is in charge of Marvel TV animation and comics now. So he was appointed to the comic to lead the comics, and I didn't think too much about it at the time. I was just like, okay, well, it's another guy in charge. He's just gonna appoint somebody else, whatever. But no, they're relocating the whole publishing on, which they said was like 100 people. Or they're trying to get them to really relocate out to Los Angeles, and in the process, they're also appointing a new editor in chief, Steve Wacker, and current editor in chief CB Cebulski is stepping down, but is transitioning to a role in literally moving to Japan to facilitate Marvel's attempt, I'm saying attempt, to expand into manga, their characters in the manga. And this is a lot, but I mean, I don't know how you feel about CB Cebulski as editor in chief over his tenure. Apparently, he oversaw the Krakoan age, so it can't be that bad. Uh,
well, can't be that good. It's
and
one of
also,
my least favorite ages. I'm
well,
gonna say.
also the ultimate relaunch happened under his watch. Also, Blood Hunt. Uh, there's also probably what was it? You just read it, Civil War II. So maybe All right, so maybe it's a wash.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, you're not as an editor, you probably have to overthink. Like the good and the bad happens. You can't make all the decisions for everyone. You can't like control everything. You try to probably, but you can't control everything. And sometimes what you try that just doesn't stick.
Mm.
So I don't know. I haven't seen many. Because you sent me the link to the article, and I haven't seen many creative credits from him. So it's really hard to for me to tell what he's about. Like as a writer, as a visionary, probably. Because the editor in chief, they have to envision a lot of things and like launch a lot of processes, and it can't be always about business. Because like Civil War II was about the business, and look where that ended up. Yeah.
Very true.
So for me, like I understand what they're trying to do. The maybe we do have some reservations because not all of us enjoy the comic book / MCU synergy that they've been pushing, and not all of us actually are very excited about Marvel trying to do like to fuck with manga because why? I mean, I don't know. I personally am not interested in it at all. Why try? Why even try to go to the country that like invented this genre in the way that they do it and doing it well? Never had any issues with that. Why go there and try to sell your shit? It's like trying to like sell an American K-pop band to Korea or like something like that, or vodka to Russians. Just doesn't make sense. Weird choice from probably like they're trying to conquer the market because the manga is like everybody always says about how they sell. Yeah,
is actually
better,
successful.
but maybe they should just try to borrow some business models instead of like we were talking about, like give runs a chance to tell a story before closing them. So maybe try to borrow that and don't change what you're all about. But no, they're gonna try to change what they're about.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pivot into manga is not a bad idea. Um, just again, it's a huge audience. Uh, if you understand the audience well, like My Hero Academia is just like their take on like Marvel or DC Comics, right? So, but it's very much from a Japanese lens, and that's cool. And they've done, Korean manhwa has done versions of Marvel characters. The Marvel characters are fairly well like really quite well known in Japan. Uh, some of them more than others, but they're quite well known. The MCU does very well in Japan, so it's not a bad idea. I'm just curious, like, what's the approach? But I mean, I'm sure we'll find out soon how CB Cebulski is gonna approach it.
I can't see this as a good thing because there has been like they've borrowed a lot from manga, and some things were good, like in terms of even in animation, the way X-Men 97 is borrowing some things from manga. It works well, but I don't want all the art to just pivot to that style because there are many unique styles. There are many beautiful styles in comic books, specifically visual art styles in comic books that are not inspired by manga, and there are good ones that are, but I just don't want everything to look the same. And I'm not a fan of manga style. I think that it can be done well, like a Daredevil with Cheta. That's a good take. That's a take I can get behind. I'm not a fan of Peach Momoko and like her style in general.
Right.
I don't particularly like it. I didn't like what she did with the Ultimate X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
because the storytelling and the writing, it wasn't and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't like
It wasn't for you.
for me, yeah,
Right.
specifically, not my taste. I kind of prefer a different style of storytelling, so that's why I have my reservations
Mm-hmm.
regarding that. Of course, if they keep everything, if they try to maintain the core of their style while also expanding and trying to capture more audiences with different kind of stories and different kind of storytelling for different audience, I only support that. But it just does feel every time they do that, it does feel like they're trying to merge everything into one big thing, one big monster with like several heads, and do something that would not serve the characters or the story. And for me, I think like one of the main things that you should do as a creator is serve the characters and the story, and I'd like them to do that. And that's why I'm not happy about like them trying to mix up the MCU with the 616, because if you chose different directions in the beginning, you don't need to try and mix them up and try to make one thing out of them.
Right.
I mean, Wanda and Pietro could have been continued being Magneto's children.
Yeah. There. Well, we'll see what they do. I'm remaining open minded. Also, I don't really read the comics, so it doesn't even matter what I say. So this is wild to me. Like New York without Marvel Comics is that's crazy. But they're going out to L.A., so I guess to sunnier shores. And also they made a point of this, and I think it actually is true. A lot of the in-house, a lot of the talent, either most of it is like work for hire anyway, and the ones that are actually they don't have too many exclusive deals, but the ones they do have, none of them live in New York. They don't live there. A lot of them just they're freelancing from their house. They could this is literally when you talk about working from home, nothing could be more work from home than being a comic book creator. And these there are people from literally from other countries, that are delivering art or for or story or whatever for Marvel Comics. They do not need to be located anywhere. Hell, if they said we're relocating Marvel Comics, the publishing house, to into the cloud, and everyone just works from home for wherever they are, it wouldn't change too much about what happens. They'd Zoom call, all that stuff. I get it. There's the need for in person stuff is not as important when your employees are all over the country or the world. And so now the reasoning for why you consolidate everyone into a different place is to be closer to the parent company, which is in LA. The people that are ultimately in charge of Marvel Comics are all in Los Angeles. There's no reason to just have people on the other side of the country for aesthetic reasons. That doesn't make any sense. I still lament the fact that Marvel will not be in NYC, but that's just me because I'm old, and it's always been that way. God damn it, it should stay that way. And also while we're at it, while we're talking about things that needs to go back to need to stay the way they are, this needs to be called Timely Comics again. God damn it, needs to be called
How
Timely.
old are you?
Get off my lawns, you stupid kids. Anyway, crazy times. So I guess, uh, maybe we'll keep an eye on this and see what happens in the future. Time for our review of My Adventure with Superman season 3, episode 5, called "The Death of Superman." Hank Henshaw was wilding out in the previous episode. Actually, I mean, he big incel energy. He's got all the power, and now he's just like, I'm gonna fuck up Metropolis, and Superman, come and stop me. So they go to stop him. But John's like in the previous episode, he's like, the reason why I came back is because he's gonna kill Dad, and he's gonna kill you, Lois, Mom, and the world sucks. So I'm here to stop that. Um, and they proceed to have a big Dragon Ball Z fight. Big Dragon Ball Z fights across it It's fights that would almost pale in comparison. That would also almost make that Zod versus Superman fight in Man of Steel pale in comparison. And Hank Henshaw spends a whole lot of time complaining about things that were promised to him that he doesn't get, and he's just gonna burn the fucking world for it. And a lot of surprisingly emotional storytelling and character development between John, Lois, Kara, and Clark. And just some big epic stuff going on in this episode. Um, I really love this episode. This is my favorite episode of the season. So, like, straight up, one of my favorite episodes of the whole show in general, but just one of my absolute favorites. They had me choked up multiple times. Animation is on point, not just in the action, but also in just like the character moments, like the one-on-one moments. Um, I really love John Kent. Like they endeared him to me so quickly, and I really loved his character. But everyone else really gets to shine. I love what they did with Lois in this episode. Hank Henshaw is an appropriately uh, terrible person that gets his shit rocked, but not before doing terrible things. And Lex Luthor, you totally deserve that punch, you bitch ass motherfucker. I love the episode. How'd you feel about it?
Well, I mean, it was fun. I really loved the ending because it was very emotional and very cute. What are the chances though that John is going back to his future and it still sucks? I think like
High,
it's
very,
as
very high.
likely as X-Men always having the terrible future ahead of them. Other than that, I mean, kind of like have a little bit timeline questions because like Lois should be much more scared because if they are supposed to die soon, like whose child is that? Because like either she's already pregnant or like if he kills Clark, what some weird shenanigans are going on there. Because like he was about to kill Clark that day.
Right.
So does this mean that Lois is already pregnant? Because like she doesn't look like she knows. She should be freaking out way more.
I think it's pretty. I think it's something that
She doesn't even have a good job yet.
I think it's pretty clear that he was sent back before. I think he's not from their timeline. That's probably what's
Could be. Then
but
he
and
just
it's
did nothing essentially.
well. I mean, look, you're asking all the right questions, and I agree. I agree.
It's Terminator all over again. Like if
I
it doesn't
agree.
make sense.
You're asking a lot of good questions. Like if he did travel back to stop his dad, was Lois pregnant? We we don't know. Probably, yeah. She probably is pregnant with him, or
Well, then she should be freaking out much, much more. She's completely calm. She's like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, I
This
have a kid." Like, if you're pregnant, you probably do.
the beauty of this episode
Very weird.
is it's paying off. I think a storyline that's been sort of working its way through the first 5 episodes, which is Lois trying to not just accept, but kind of come to terms with what her relationship with Clark means. And she was freaked out because she had her son from the future basically thrust into her
Map
life
out the future.
to let her know that what her life is going to be. And then she's sort of not accepting that her future is going to be exactly the future he's talking about, but that she's saying it's not just about taking away it's not about taking away her choices or her future, but saying that John as a part of her future is a good thing, and also that maybe that is what she wanted. She just didn't realize it. I'm not sure if
She didn't want that.
the thing is I'm not even sure that they've completely resolved how she feels about it or how I think she's resolved the fact that John as her future son isn't just something that's just being thrust upon, but something she actually might really want because she, there's a kindred spirit in them. I love that. But
Then there is okay. I was gonna say that there was another moment that like when I talked about the ending. Ending was emotional and was really well done. But it did remind me of like kind of the Bastion storyline in the X-Men 97 season 1, because I kind of like similar vibes in many ways. Only I love the fact that Hank in the end he realized that he fucked up and he was wrong, and like he the problem was him all along. So that
I wonder. There's a certain segment of our population, or us particularly of the fandom, that could use a little bit of introspection. It's just fucked up that
oh yeah.
It's just messed up that he had to fuck up a lot of Metropolis and kill a lot of people in order to like. Oh, maybe I'm the asshole. You think so? You think really? It took you? It took that much
Nice guess.
like you're complete. It's as if there's some people in this world who have a complete inability to not just be empathetic, to have some fucking self-reflection. And the whole time Clark is trying to be like, look, we don't have to fight about this. Like you can turn away from this. And he's just like, but I want to, because if I can't have her, no one can have her. And he wasn't just talking about the Earth. He's still fucking mad about Lois. Like, it's also, is he stupid?
Yeah.
This is to me, this is going to look, I love this episode. So I'm not shitting on the episode. I'm just curious. Are the people of the Metropolis dumb? Let's put look.
Again.
Can you
let's ask this question again.
Well, there's multiple reasons for this. One, you dummies that are in the park, go somewhere. How many do you live in Metropolis? How many explosions you need to see before you be like, I should go home right now? It's just dumb. Just hanging out. I'm gonna have a picnic while Metropolis is getting fucked up. Leave. Anyway, y'all are stupid. But no, is Hank Henshaw stupid? Real talk, is he stupid? Because, and also Lex too, but really Hank Henshaw. How hard is it to put 2 and 2 together? To realize,
really hard, apparently.
like, we know that Lois Lane and Clark Kent are dating, right? They're clearly publicly doing it, right? And we also know,
I hope they're not doing it publicly.
They are publicly dating. Yeah, they're not doing it publicly, but you know what I'm saying. But they are publicly dating. We also know that Superman and Lois Lane have a thing. We also, in this episode, he finds out that John is Superman's son. And then he find out he's half human too. Clark is clearly Superman. Like y'all are, I feel like
one wears glasses.
I feel like I'm wearing crazy. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now. I feel like Mugatu from Zoolander. Am I the only one that fucking sees this? It's one look. He has one look. Blue Steel, it's the same, and Magnum are the same look. Anyway, if you get that reference, I love y'all. It's crazy. Y'all are dumb. What else is the John and Kara, their moment? I love that so much. Because Supergirl, I think, they've been playing her not just as a fish out of water, but also she's kind of a bit of a weirdo because of, not, I don't want to say weirdo, but kind of a weird chick because, she's raised essentially by a robot. So she's a little too literal sometimes. And she's just sort of like, and she even says like, this is not my world. This is Kal-El's world, but you're my family. It's that whole little interaction with him when she finds out that she's the one that raised him and kind of trained John, and that he was like, the reason why I'm being weird with you is because I don't want to lose you again. It's such a fucking sweet moment. And I like, it's, as I always say, I want things to make me feel something, and I felt something very strongly in that moment, just seeing the flashbacks and everything, and seeing the way she's like, you don't have to do it alone, we can do it together. I loved it. Um, Even though I will say the moment was slightly undermined when he was like, "Oh yeah, I have some kryptonite armor." Bitch, you couldn't have said that. What are you gonna hold on to that? Why would you hold on to that?
In his defense, he's from Metropolis. He was born there, and people in Metropolis are really stupid.
Okay, you know what? That's solid logic. Because when he was like, "Oh yeah, I have some anti-krypton," you want to hold on to that this whole time. Okay.
He doesn't even need them, but yeah.
It was crazy. Um Wild. Um Lois punched the shit out of Lex, and that's the most earned like Superman punch in the history of Superman punches. God damn it, did he? Man, Lex Luthor. I wish that punch could have just like reverberated across the multiverse to every Lex Luthor, because the way Lois jumped and knocked the shit out of him was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This could be my favorite Lex. This might be my favorite Lois Lane, just based on that alone. She's so it's so good. I loved it so much. Um, we saw at the end that John goes back to the future. Like, he flies at 88 miles per hour, and gets 1.88 gigawatts to go back to the future. And like Back to the Future movies, he fixes the past, but it ain't fixed. It's more fucked up than it was before. All right, before the world was blowed up, now Lex Luthor has Superman robots, and I'm just like, what was the point of even going back? What was the point of that?
So, wait, was that in the post credit?
Yeah, that was the post credit.
Yeah, I missed it. I turned it off, and I was like, I'm done here.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. You got a post credit.
But like, I figured that something like that was gonna happen. So it was not a surprise for me.
I mean, that's cool.
It was predictable.
I think it's cool. Man, this show was picked like I remember those episode 2 and 3, 1, 2, and 3. I was like, okay, right? They're fine, but what's the point? And 4 and 5 have been phenomenal to me. They've really picked up. Like 4 was a great lead into 5, and I really love this episode. It just did everything I really wanted this show to do. And also we see Clark is depowered. So remember this is sort of based on, they call it, the reign of the Supermen. So we've dealt with two of from the 90s comic. We've dealt with two of them, Cyborg Superman and Superboy. So Superboy's gone back to the future. Cyborg Superman is basically dead, or at least depowered. So in the reign of the Superman, there was one other character who was one of the potential new Superman after the death of Superman at the hands of what was the name of it? Not Apocalypse. What? I always forget the name of the thing that killed him. But
Doomsday.
No, it wasn't Doomsday. It was
Apocalypse.
No, it wasn't Apocalypse. I'll remember it eventually, but there was one other character, and that was Steel, aka that was Steel, right? John Henry Irons was one of the Supermen that stepped in when Superman was gone. So we've seen two of them. Is the third one coming back? We've already seen Steel before in the first season, and the second season, because he came out to defend Metropolis from the Kryptonian invasion. I'm very interested to see if they do bring him in the next episodes. So I loved it. It seemed like you liked it. Maybe not as much as I did. It seemed like you liked it pretty well. Are you more optimistic about the rest of the season now that you've seen these 2 episodes?
I mean, same.
Yeah,
I'm much more invested into X-Men 97. Nothing else can hold my attention quite like that now. So
I'm gonna say
just bad timing.
I'm gonna say something controversial, and
don't say it.
No,
think about it before you say it.
I'm gonna say something controversial. I stand by this.
Rethink that.
I stand by this. I think this is
you are wrong.
I think that this episode was better than the X-Men 90. Not much better. I'm not saying vastly better. I just think I preferred, out of the two I saw, I think I like this one better than I like the X-Men 97 episode. And it's not a bad, it's like this much. There's this much separation, but I think I like this one more. I think there's more. First of all, well, we'll get into it in X-Men 97. I think as far as character, well, the character development, but there's a more of an emotional storylines told, more emotional story beats, and the action was about on par between the two of them. It's just a different kind of action. This one was more Dragon Ball Z ish, more anime style, epic action, versus I think they leaned into a different kind of action that was still good, and I still really enjoyed it in X-Men 97. We'll get into that when we talk about it, which is going to be right now. X-Men 97 episode, season 2, episode 5 is, you may as well call it the I would say X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's the
I would call it the Alien.
It's I call it that mindset. It's Aliens, y'all. It's almost literally a riff on Aliens. Aliens, not Alien. Aliens.
Well, you sure about that? I would say Alien.
No, it's more of a riff. Well, it's more of a riff, I think, on Aliens, because they explicitly make certain characters do the shit that characters in Aliens did.
Could be. I watched Alien once and Alien twice. So.
Yeah, Aliens, they literally, like, they have Garrison Kane in this. So the backdrop of this is, we saw in the previous episode that Wolverine got some information, classified information about Weapon X from Captain America, and Black Widow showed up for reasons. Probably because
she was there.
I think literally because they were just trying to recreate that comic book cover, which is a flex in and of itself. That tells you about the kind of nerds making this show. But he's getting a crew together to go deal with a secret Weapon X facility that's doing some shit. These are all people who are former, either former creations or formerly empowered, created by, or captured and experimented on by Weapon X. And so, of course, they all got a little beef and they want to, like, deal with them. Now, and also we got Morph. Morph is kind of tagging along as help for the Wolverine's sake. We kind of know why. He look.
It's Wolverine's conscious.
Yeah, well, Wolverine spent a ton of time in the original series looking for and trying to redeem and pull back Morph, even when he became like a bad guy. And he saved him. And Morph...
Them.
I'm sorry, you're right. Them. I keep forgetting Morph is non-binary.
It's right in the titles, in the credits.
I have to remember that.
If you forget, just look there.
But Morph is also, we saw in the previous season, very devoted, very attached, probably romantically, but even knowing that it's not going to happen romantically, still very strongly attached to Wolverine. So they've come along for the ride, adding, as I said in my post, some much needed sass to a group of otherwise not so, they're funny because they're
not fun.
No, I say they're not fun. They're not funny, except in the fact that they're also like gruff and kind of abrasive to each other.
They're essentially the same character.
They're all at Wolverine and different, except possibly Garrison Kane. So we have in the group, it's Garrison Kane, Maverick, in all of his pouch and padded helmet glory. Very much Rob Liefeld, I'm sure, got plenty of money for this this episode.
I hope he didn't get anything, but he's gonna be talking anyway.
There's two of his characters. I don't think, did he create Maverick? I don't know. I think he did create Maverick. But Maverick, Garrison Kane, who was formerly of was the Canadian what is it? Department H in the Canadian
Yeah.
secret government. And also we get Lady Deathstrike and our favorite Wolverine hater, Sabretooth. But they're all copacetic this time because they're going to go deal with the Weapon X.
Well, so they pretend to be. I don't know. That's such a weird scene.
They have such a weird dynamic. I can't even say it's like a love, because there's no sexual tension. They just fucking hate each other, but they can set it aside sometimes for reasons.
They're still gonna fight after and before that.
Yeah, that most definitely. It's weird. So they go to this thing. They discover, oh shit, it's aliens, and so we begin an homage of sorts to aliens, and what's funny to me about this, Garrison Kane he's literally just cannon fodder. The motherfucker, he doesn't even get killed by aliens. He gets killed by getting impaled on a tree. That is crazy. I don't know a ton about him. I don't know many people that like the character. He's just dead. And then, he's the expendability of people in this show is something. They proceed.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you pick up Rob Liefeld characters, what else are you gonna do that with them? They're very expendable.
They proceed to go through this facility. They discover that the brood has taken over. There's a hive mind. They got to deal with all these brood running around. I was just like, what the fuck? Y'all let the brood be on Earth? Ooh, whose idea was this? Oh, apparently dumbass scientists. Okay, there you go. Good to know.
Very Reed Richards shit to do.
Can I tell you what? All of this reminds me that this is all Dr. Erskine's fault. All of this shit, everything. If you look at the Marvel universe, the Marvel Comics universe, if you look back at it, it really is kind of his fault. Because this motherfucker makes Captain America, and for the next 75 years, everybody and their mama is trying to recreate it, and they're doing stupid shit, dumber and dumber things to try to recreate Captain America. This time they're like,
true, but the mutants would have appeared anyway. So
this is true, but like
they already had Apocalypse and stuff.
Because remember, Weapon X was literally yet another attempt to make a Captain America. Right? This time they're going to use mutants to try to recreate the shit. It's like Dr. Erskine. Yeah, you should have left that shit on the drawing board. We still would have won World War II, man. We didn't need Captain America. But anyway, I digress. So a lot of the rest of it is a lot of fighting some bad guy, the aliens, but also an exploration of why the hell does Morph even stick around for all of Wolverine's shit. And also, Wolverine was on some bullshit. He was like, he's like, guys, we're going to go shut down this thing. But also, while we're here, I mean, I could use some adamantium.
No, that's the thing. He did not let anyone know that he was going to do that.
Well, I mean, yeah.
He just went ahead and like invited them to shut down the lab that didn't bother nobody, at least like not that they knew of. He invited the most horrible people from his past, like those other friends that he I don't know, who are the X-Men from who came back from the future? Like, ask them. You have actual friends like you talk to.
He didn't want anybody to die. He didn't want anybody cared about to die.
Oh, come on. Come on. Except Morph for some reason, and no, they wouldn't have died.
No.
He just wanted to like bring renders with him.
Yeah,
it's such a weird choice. And also, like, you are Sabretooth. You pick up your phone, and it's Wolverine on the other side. Like, do you want to go and like close down that lab? No. Because I hate you, and because like I don't like you. Pick a reason.
They had a mutual hate for the person that did that to him. I think it's you're right. Wolverine. It's like he invited people over for a party at his house. Then he was like, Also, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about my multi-level marketing thing.
Yeah.
If you get in at the bottom level and then you get 10 more people to come in, the brood are gonna come and I was like, my guy, I thought you wanted to just hang out and have a party, bitch. You want me to be a part of your pyramid scheme, you dick. um
That is exactly the kind of person Wolverine is. But uh, by the end of the episode, like when we would start learning all that, and when, especially when Morph starts to talking to Wolverine after he gets his, did we get to the part where he got his adamantium back?
well, yeah, so he basically,
He got his adamantium.
yeah, but like Lady Deathstrike is like, you were just like this mythological, uh, superpowered person that all you're gonna do is follow around like a fucking dog around this guy, and he's gonna use you and everything. And interestingly enough, I think Morph is like, maybe so, but I accept it. I accept that this is what's happening. And when later on they essentially have their hand forced because Wolverine is taken over by a brood, and in order to like get the brood out of him, they have to run him through the adamantium process. Which, by the way, I guess it can't be too traumatic because the shit happened immediately. Like, did you know this?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have to in the movies and everything. They make it out like, wow, this is a real process. Like, it's not. No, he steps into it and then steps right back out, and he got a brand new set. Brand new set
And
of.
did you see all those cracks on the camera? Very weird. Like, how did water not spill out of
You know
that?
what? Reasons. That's why it didn't spill out. Reasons.
Physics. I'm not a physics. No, not a physicist.
So,
Yeah, we were talking about Morph though, and you reminded me. Like, I wouldn't. That Morph wasn't like, okay, I accept that Wolverine is like that. I accept that I'm just following him around. I think that for them it was not a wake up call, but they were still holding out hope that Wolverine would have a good explanation. And when he didn't, that's when they kind of gave him a reality check.
yeah, like he's like, what do you say? It's very like, that's very sad. He's like, you are. He basically, Wolverine's like, I am. He's like, I am. That's who I am. Like, that's
yeah,
what I am.
yeah. And Morph said that.
That's sad.
Doesn't make you sad, makes me sad. Yeah, and it was so well said and done, and kind of like sums up a lot of things that bug me about Wolverine. Because to me personally, he was always kind of like a one very very limited character in terms of what he represents, because he is always this like I'm the best there is at what I do, and like all I do is like make a grumpy face and go slice things. Somebody like I don't remember who, but like a long time ago somebody called him a portable God, what do you call it? The can opener. Yeah, tin can opener. So yeah, that's basically what he is, and he doesn't really. He's not charming. He's not like interesting. He's not very smart. He's not very. He doesn't bring anything except like muscle and anger and willing to kill, and that's all he is. And
right.
Very two-dimensional if you think about it. His stories like never really captivated me, because like even when he's portrayed as all that but like with a big heart and like kind of a softy inside and with a backstory, it still doesn't change the fact of who he is, because he still remains the same person. He doesn't grow, and it's been like that for a long time. And he, at some point, he became a caricature, like in my opinion, he became a caricature of himself in the comics too, because he had like a few things, like only a few things going for him. All of those I named before, and Jean, of course, because during Krakoa they also kind of tried to bring that back. Nobody needs that. But this is exactly the reason why I don't particularly like his character. As a part of an ensemble, he's fine, but like I don't really like him, and I don't find him interesting.
Yeah.
And God forbid he's gonna try to get with Aurora again. No, keep the
I
troll away from her.
say no.
Uh,
I thought it was
yeah.
interesting. I thought it was
So
interesting that.
let me finish a little
Okay. Yeah.
bit. And well, more summed that all up perfectly, and I hope that for Wolverine it would be a chance to grow, and like this is where the synergy between the MCU and like X-Men 97 and the comics could come in play, because like he
Mm.
needs some development, some changes. But for Morph, what I hope for Morph is this would be start of like him them moving their affections to someone else, and at least like understand more about what kind of person Logan is, and not like be so crazy of him.
Yeah. I think I have a feeling that Morph is not going to, because I think that their connection is a bit deeper than that. I also think that they made Wolverine do some reflection, because and this is giving credit to the animators of being able to sort of show Wolverine being uncomfortable and being exposed to the truth about himself. Like he said it like that's just who I am, and he like that was the end of the conversation, and it wasn't. And more saying what they said, I think made him uncomfortable in
Oh yeah,
real
absolutely.
in realizing that just that little pat, kind of trite, well, it is what it is, wasn't enough. And now it's in his mind. That's not enough. You know, what you did, like nobody's gonna fucking miss Garrison Kane or Maverick. Like no, really not. But the fact that he was duplicitous in doing what he was doing, and was and he justified himself. I think that he kind of put him in a place where he couldn't just smooth it over and move on. And I like that. I like the character development in this. I Morph. People are saying, they like I didn't really give a shit about Morph before, but I kind of love him now, and I'm like, or love them now, and I'm like, you should, because they went through some shit in the first in the original series, and have come back and are super solid. But I like a
Yeah,
character. I like a character that really kind of forces the other characters to kind of like confront not just their shortcomings, but the danger they pose because of their one single mindedness. And because I think
there
it's
is
gonna.
also like yeah,
No, I was
continue.
just trying to say it's just it'll make Wolverine a better character. I understand what you're talking about Wolverine's
Yeah,
his
uh,
shortcomings as a character, not just as a person, but as a character within the narrative. And they have got to make Wolverine transcend those things for him to be a central character, because right, he's been a central character because Bryan Singer elevated him in the movies. But in the X-Men 90, the original one, he wasn't the main character. There were many other things going on.
well, I think that what they should do is actually not keep him being not a main character, because it's not it's an ensemble show. Everybody is a main character, and we got a Wolverine episode that was secretly a Morph episode, and the episode was better for it, because we found out more about Morph. We found out more about their character, and the the relationships that between these characters in general, like all of the X-Men, are what keeps the show interesting, what keeps it exciting, what keeps it really keeps us coming back every week. It's the relationships between the characters, not necessarily it's also other things, but it's not necessarily the big fights and the cool superpowers.
Right. Which
It's
we
the
did.
chemistry
Yeah.
between them.
Yeah, which we did. I mean, they broke out, literally broke what do they call it? They decanted Omega Red, and he was like the first he did a Ultron. The first thing he looked around and he was like, nah, we gotta kill the whole world. Just get rid of all of them. Well, I'll use the Brood. I'm like, dude, You come on, man.
You
Like,
just woke up. Sit
yeah,
down. You don't know what's going on
the
here.
Brood are just like, I guess. I like this whole time they were just like they're. That's the only thing I didn't like about this is we didn't really get the Brood Queen. The Brood Queen is terrifying in the comics. The Brood Queen is terrifying, and they didn't really we didn't get that here because they didn't have a queen. This is the result of dumbasses experimenting on a corpse of a brood. One of the brood. So there's potential we'll get that in the future. Overall, I think it was a great episode. Love the animation in this. Love a lot. What they were doing with it. Love the character development. All around, I really had a great time with it. Uh, I just like I said, I felt like there was a little bit more in My Adventure with Superman. Just a little bit more. That's just personal preference. If you preferred this over My Adventure with Superman this week, I get it. There's a lot of investment in both shows for me. So, just seeing them, they're both progressing. And I love that. And I'm glad that My Adventure with Superman brought a great episode. They didn't get overshadowed. But this one, if you are loving X-Men 97, this is more of, you're at a buffet and you just, or you're not at a buffet, you're at a five star restaurant and they just brought you another amazing plate and you're just you're filling up. um so all that said, I think, oh, let me go, I'm way out. I went back, or sorry. All that being said, that is the last bit of thing we're going to talk about today. It's been a chock full show. We had a lot to talk about today. The two shows are really kicking ass, and we're appreciating it. That being said, maybe we missed something. You want to agree with us, disagree with us, say something nice, troll us, or just otherwise just like hang out. You know what to do. Get down there to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up. Oops, that's the wrong one. superhotfunnyshow@gmail.com. Blurred_force1 on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And assuming, of course, that Threads doesn't ban my account again. And while you're doing that, do me a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps to more people to see this podcast and all the other things we do on Blurred Force One. And of course, I couldn't do this by myself. I needed my good friend Polly to talk about all of the all of the good stuff going on in X-Men, because I didn't even get to mention. I get to ask you about the little things that you saw. I saw some little things in there, of course. But where can they reach you on social media?
As always, I'm ready to talk on the core_mixed, on Threads, on Instagram, on Tumblr. Who knows where else? Just look for me.
Yeah, all of that good stuff. Yeah, definitely go show Polly some love. Run those numbers up. That's what I'm talking about. We both have recently eclipsed 1,000 followers. And look,
Also had like a really a 1.400 likes on a post. So
which is really cool.
that was a big day.
I was feeling good about myself because my Sam Neill post did pretty well. They don't pay us for that, so who cares? But it is nice to have that many followers. Neither of us, I mean, aside from this show where we're like, hey, follow us, I don't think any of us ever asked for follows. So it's nice to see people just showing up because they like what we say. It's cool. I'm sure I don't drive anyone away with all my politics talk or gardening or whatever.
I don't post about politics.
We did forget to mention there
Just
were
praise Doom.
There were some cool little Easter eggs like within X-Men 97. I love that the nerds are making that show. That little list of DVDs of various subjects. There's a lot in there people have broken down. Very, very interesting. Also, Maggot was in this episode. Unfortunately, it looks like Maggot's probably dead, so we'll never see them again. with them. I don't think we'll ever see Maggot again. But it was kind of cool to see.
Who knows? Like,
poor maggot. But even though he's a bad guy, so fuck him. Anyway, this
A bad guy though.
yeah, that's why I say the bad guy. No, we're not gonna miss him. Either way, this has been episode 237 of the Supercast. Thanks for joining us on this. Come back next week. We're going to talk about the next episodes of My Adventure with Superman and the next episode of X-Men 97. Those should be a fun time. We are gearing up for brand new day. So, it is right around the corner. Lots of stuff to talk about. So until then, I've been Mo, your comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.